Hey guys, so we're here at Cisco Fishing Systems in Brunswick, Ohio, seeing how they make all these amazing products that we love so much. I've got David right here with me. David, tell me a little bit about your position here.
Oh boy, well, I do a little bit of everything here, wear a lot of hats, but pretty much I will do anything from the machining to the programming. We will do sales, marketing, trade shows, the whole 9 yards. Kind of got my toes in a little bit of everything here, but we just want to take a minute and walk you guys through the shop and show you how everything's made from the beginning to the end.
Cool, let's go take a look.
Let's do it.
Awesome. Offices here?
Offices here. So we got my father Denny over in the corner there. This is Scott. And we got Rich as well, who's working on some new CAD prints actually. We're gonna be making some new fixturing for one of the machines. So here we go today. Everything's in one location. We'll pretty much get all the material deliveries in the back, work its way through the front as it gets through the machining process, through assembly. Orders are all placed up in here. Do all of our trade show preps, all of our design work, everything's done right here.
Very cool. Yes. So you guys are even getting a shipment of aluminum in today, right? So we're gonna be able to see kind of come off the truck and what happens as soon as you guys get some fresh product in.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be getting the aluminum deliveries. We can show you how step by step things get brought through and everything kind of comes to life.
So the aluminum truck is here.
Yeah, aluminum truck just arrived. If you want to come out, we'll show you how we get this unloaded on a day-to-day basis, or at least a few times a week, and where it's stored and how it goes from the raw stock to the finished products. So here at Cisco Fishing, we actually pride ourselves on the fact that we use all American aluminum. All the aluminum has been already previously recycled, and we order a lot of aluminum every single year. So aluminum deliveries are coming in virtually, I'd say 2 to 3 times a week. So we always try to get it in. It's a small load today, but it is what's available.
Hard to come by?
No, we're actually changing our mills before the new year.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna be working with the new mill for the new year, so this is actually the last of the old mill.
Cool.
So over here, this is one of our automated saw systems. We're able to take on this particular job a 24-foot bar of material. This will measure each individual part, advance it, send it forward, cut it, over and over and over again. Pretty much all we have to do here is grab the part, load it up onto our carts, bring them over to the machine, and start moving them. Right here, this is actually one of our Swiss turn machines. What's nice about this one in particular is the fact that we're able to load a full 12-foot bar. As you can see actually on the material storage over here, we can put a full 12-foot bar of stock into this machine at any time, and it'll load up to, well, in the diameter we're running, about 13 at a time, 13 bars at a time. Now, in particular right now, we happen to be machining a part for our cam levers.
Okay.
So this one is pretty much exclusively running a 303 stainless steel through this machine. We'll manufacture all of our thumb screws, all of our cam lever parts. Yeah, pretty much that's exclusively what this machine does. So as it completes the parts, it will pass them off to the sub side, it will eject them, and it will drop into the conveyor, and then we'll reclaim all the oil that comes off of it, we'll polish it, parts wash it, and out it goes. You'll actually see it cutting off right here. Gonna send this off to the sub side, round it off, and it will eject. A little bit of a messier machine, but it's very efficient. And then over here, you can actually make sure that it'll drop the part. I know it's round, sometimes they roll, but it will drop the part right here, stop it right here, and then you can bring it over for inspection. 753, 754, perfect, right within tolerance. So we are just shy of 20,000 square feet here.
Wow, and you guys just moved, right, a couple years ago?
Moved about 2 years ago. It was an eventful move. There's a lot of equipment here. But we were able to get all of our equipment out of storage that we accumulated over a couple of years.
Okay.
Added some new equipment. We got
Very cool.
1, 2, 3. We got at least 3 new pieces of equipment here right now since we moved in. And we also have our first robot on the way as we speak,
wow.
which I'm actually quite impressed with. It'll be going on this one here. That robot's going to be manufacturing all of the longer parts that need to come out of the machine. Stuff that cannot be ejected from the machines automatically, stuff that actually has to be opened, removed, and placed.
Okay.
So it's going to be going to be an impressive little
that'll be
little
really
piece of
cool.
equipment.
Yeah. So you guys are growing pretty rapidly.
We are. And I will say a lot of these machines are running 24 hours a day now. We've really stepped up the automation here.
Wow.
And that's really allowed us to meet demand, which has been something that we had an issue with for about 2 years. I mean, demand has skyrocketed and the walleye boom has been going crazy.
Absolutely.
So buying the new machinery, getting into the new shop and automating and getting the robots have really helped meet demand and exceed our expectations with what we can do and produce here.
Cool, that's what we love to hear. So what are we looking at right here?
Right now we are manufacturing, if you want to take a peek inside, this would be part of our cradle bases actually. So anyone that's utilizing a cradle base, it is producing this part start to finish here.
The tech is all way above my head, but it's pretty cool to see, you know, these high quality rod holders, electronics mounts, everything that you're beating up on the big water and really putting to the test every single day how it's made. You know, it takes a team and it takes some pretty high-tech machines to get it all done.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, it's not the first, this is not the first program we've written. We've made a lot of changes over the years on how we automate, how we produce. You know, this part in particular, we will run this job 24 hours a day. Not all the time, but this machine will run 24 hours a day. Having the ability to have sub-spindle machines, live tooling, automation, conveyors, the whole 9 yards, it really keeps things moving. The repeatability is spectacular. All allows for producing a top-notch product, one after another.
Very, very cool.
So over here, this is one of our mills. Right now we're actually producing Lund mounts for our heavy-duty Lund mounts. This machine does many, many things, but at this given time, it's going to be producing these parts. I will show you how this one works in particular. What we're going to have is the ability to have up to 8 parts in here at one time. This machine actually does its own inspections. It'll pick up each individual part. So if you're talking a difference of 1/1000ths in the material or the angle, the machine will actually feed that information every single time. Where it's at in the machine, locate it. That way when it comes down to inspect the parts, when it comes down to drill, tap, locate, it really takes a lot of time off. We don't have to spend as much time locating, and we get a nice repeatable part every single time. That type of wireless intuitive probing can be used both within the lathes and the mills, and it can also be done outside the machines for overall inspections, just to make sure everything is within tolerance. When we do run these machines overnight, that also will make sure that the parts do also stay within tolerance, and if there's any issues with any tool breakage or drills or taps, anything that might go wrong, the machine will not allow it to produce junk or scrap overnight. Uniform, every piece, every time. What it's doing right now is it's taking this 90-degree extrusion isn't always 90 degrees.
Okay.
You know, there's tolerances that you can fall within that they can still classify as 90. Well, we want a true 90. That way all the trees, all the downriggers, everything that can be mounted to the boat can look nice and perpendicular. So we true it up even though it's within tolerance to the mill specs. We have it set so it's a true 90 degree every single time. So after this process here, what it's going to do is it's going to start bringing up the spot drills and the taps and start giving you the finished product that you know and love. From here, it'll go into a finishing process. We'll make sure all sharp edges are removed, any extrusion marks are removed, and then it'll be out to anodizing. So we'll have a tool change coming up here in just a minute. In the back of the machine is the Haas tool probe pickup. So all of our tools that get put in and out of the machines, we can actually take and pick up with that mechanism in the back. Makes for quick turnover between jobs.
Okay.
Real easy. You know, we have other machines that have pallet changers in them that, you know, don't even require a person to be loading parts in and out.
Okay.
The machine's constantly running, the spindle is constantly turning, and you're loading parts outside the machine. When it's ready, you press a button, it loads it in, and it keeps on going. Wow. So it's pretty much an endless cycle. What you always want to work for is spindle rotation time, spindle utilization time. And if your spindle's not turning,
you're not making any product,
you're
right?
not making any product. So that's the name of the game, is to always keep things moving.
Wow. So is this Cisco's newest machine, David?
This is Cisco's newest machine. We put this into production back in June of this year. Definitely was a learning curve, unlike some of the other FANUC-based controls that we run. This is Nakuma, and it is our first one. This one in particular speaks a different language than all the other machines in the shop. However, the programming, the tool changing, the efficiency, the tolerances, the accuracy, everything about this machine is extremely premier compared to what we had with the Haas equipment.
Yeah, that's some pretty insane tech.
It is. The graphics are able to produce now all different parts without having to even run the spindle.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the best things for us is we can prototype, we can see what's gonna fit, what's gonna work, what drill's gonna work, get a real life application without actually turning the product, turning the raw aluminum, making chips.
Wow.
If you come down here, you can see that these two machines in particular do have both bar feeders, allowing them to run constantly overnight.
Okay.
You know, so all the equipment will be, or all the bars will be loaded up over here. On this particular job that we're going to be producing, we're able to run this, each bar is about 2.5 hours. So obviously, this machine's able to run for many hours at a time without being tended to. In fact, with some of the expanders, we can even run it a whole weekend.
Wow.
So yeah.
You guys, even when you're not here, you're just constantly producing.
Even when we're not here, it's constantly producing product, constantly checking, like we showed you before with the inspections and the wireless probes. Everything's always given a foolproof, well, almost always given a foolproof, foolproof production. But I will say this machine has been quite an advancement. Like I said, it was a little bit nerve-wracking to get this in here and learn a new language.
I can imagine, it's massive.
and the ability to have 60 tools in this machine in particular, truly makes setup between jobs almost simultaneously. I'd say about 3-4 button pushes, and we're able to go from producing one of 23 different parts in this machine.
Wow.
So really, really great job.
Yeah.
So here at the DT2, we're making fixtures for parts. And basically we start with a slug like this, and we machine it out to a functional holding of parts that we machine.
Okay.
So this will be able to do 12, 5, 10, 15 parts at a time.
Wow.
And the whole idea is to keep the spindle spinning and making chips. That's probably it in a nutshell.
Absolutely. What's nice about this is the fact 2 pallets can always be within the machine getting machined, 2 parts can be outside, or 2 pallets can be outside of the machine getting unloaded. So really downtime between spindles, or I'm sorry, downtime between the jobs actually getting produced is only about a minute.
Wow.
So we really, in theory, on some of our jobs that we hold like 72 parts inside of that machine at a time, we only have about a minute and a half of loading and unloading between the pallets. So
that's incredible.
Really keeps the machine, the spindle turning.
The way we started right here, we machine them all, and then we take time to take the parts out, while it's sitting idle.
Yeah.
Put parts in, close the door, and hit the cycle start. Now we set those pallets in there. We hit the cycle start. We have parts made already. We remove those parts while the cycle's running. We put new wall on the fixtures, and when it's done, it takes less than a minute to swap them out and hit the button and it's running.
Sounds like you guys have it down to a science. Seems to be, you know, everything I keep hearing just sounds efficient, you know?
Always about efficiency, absolutely. You know, and we are lucky enough here that we're able to produce our own pallets, machine our own pallets, figure out the best way and the most efficient way to load up that machine table. You know, it limits all the tool changes and keeps everything moving really as productive as possible. So we'll design all of our fixturing around all of our parts.
Yeah, basically when both these fixtures are in there, it's using the whole X and Y plane of the machine.
Okay.
We can't put any more parts on there than what we managed to get in there. That's the whole idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, up here, we're actually up in assembly right now, so we're kind of going through everything. We went through the whole production side, how it starts, how it gets machined, produced.
This is the end of it, huh?
This is the end of it. After everything comes back from anodizing, we pretty much assemble it all over here on these 3 tables, whether it's a rod holder, a downrigger, a planer mast, planer board reel, electronics mount, stabilizer, the whole 9 yards. So this is Val.
Yeah.
She gets the pieces parts. We got Val and Mark over here. If you want to say hello. But yeah, all the assembly pretty much gets processed right through here.
Very cool.
All the parts, this is where it all comes together. It's where the magic happens. So these parts in particular just got back from anodizing. We'll get them sorted through and start the assembly process up on them. You know, you learn as you grow. From our last shop to here, we didn't have as much space.
Yeah.
So we learned that it's very inefficient to be handling things 2-3 times and just kind of streamline it. We've just worked from one end of the shop all the way to the other, and it's really worked out well. Production's gone through the roof, efficiency's gone through the roof, and
it's easy to see how being here for sure.
Easy to track, easy to streamline, easy to organize. So.
Hi, I'm Wanda, and I take care of all of the shipping and receiving here at Cisco Fishing Systems.
So everything that somebody buys directly from Cisco is getting shipped out right here, huh?
Absolutely.
Very cool.
Yes.
That's awesome. David, that was awesome. Thank you for the tour. Really appreciate it. You guys are very knowledgeable and clearly have your things together here at Cisco. We also shot a ton of product videos today talking about all the Cisco products that we carry, how you can use them, functionality, what makes them awesome. So really appreciate it, David. And yeah, looking forward to coming back and seeing as you guys continue to grow.
I really appreciate that as well. Thank you very much, you guys. Anything we can ever do for you, let us know.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.